We would normally have the police coming in to give us an update in terms of crime and also to just speak to certain topics. This Tuesday morning, we have Acting Superintendent Alicia Piggott with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Cox. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning to you, wherever in the world you are. And it is Tuesday, it's not Monday.
Yes.
And it's Acting Assistant Superintendent.
Acting Assistant Superintendent. All right, let me see, all right? So, in the rank in Trinidad and Tobago, according to the Police Act, Service Act, we are the Commissioner of Police. Then we will have the Deputy Commissioner of Police.
Then you have the Assistant Commissioner.
Right.
And then you have the Senior Superintendent.
Right.
You have Superintendent.
Right.
And then you have the Assistant Superintendent.
Right. And congratulations, I could say.
For the acting.
Yeah, because this is,
you have me laughing.
Classified as the first division category, right?
Yes, Mr. Cox.
And then in the second division, inspector and so on comes down
yes,
the line.
Please.
Right. Well, congratulations. And this is effective last week.
No, I just wasn't saying anything. On the 13th of this month.
All right, well, congratulations.
No, 13th of
August.
Of August, sorry.
Yeah, all right. Well, all right, so ladies and gentlemen, you got it loud and clear there. And in terms of what happened, I mean, long weekend, a number of activities.
Okay. So, Tobago enjoyed a little, I would say, crime-free, except for the, there was a boat that was stolen in the Bell Garden area. Unfortunately, the boat was recovered, damaged, because I understand it was found on the, it would have knocked on the rocks, so the boat was damaged. But they stole the engine. It was found in Richmond Bay, and they stole the boat engine. The activities throughout Tobago, you had plenty of activities in Scarborough, obviously. Besides the activities, everything went well. There were no untowards reports. So that's why I say you could say, besides the boat situation, a crime-free weekend. But you also saw on the day of the regatta, two young men they took part in the regatta, and their unregistered boat would have. They experienced, I don't know why I'm stuttering, they experienced some difficulty whilst out there. Right. They would have reported that two boats would have swung in front of them. Right. And they were ejected from their boats. Their vessel would have continued on without them. Serious? And flew straight into the port's compound. Right? Damaging the port fence and also damaging the boat and the engine. Yes, it went straight through the fence and landed on the grass verge.
So there wasn't any explosion? In the
rear, no. And thankfully, sometimes workers are behind there. Thankfully, no one was injured. The two persons on the vessel, one of them received a cut and laceration on their finger, and the other some scratches. But thankfully, thanks for life, so that they could see about themselves and fix the port fence.
Oh, so they're culpable?
Well, they are culpable, because remember...
And it was an unregistered...
It was an unregistered boat, and it's their boat. All right? So what I would advise the persons who put it on the regatta also is to ensure that the boats that take part in the regatta are registered. All right? We also had several arrests. We had 6 persons being arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol.
Long weekend.
Long weekend. And if you know the West, on the western side of the island, you continue to have accidents on a Saturday night, Friday night. Persons continue to drive under the influence. So 6 persons were arrested for that. And then you had persons being arrested for possession of cocaine, and persons being arrested...
In Tobago?
In Tobago, yes, cocaine. Not much cocaine, but you had 2 persons arrested for cocaine. And then you had persons being arrested for assaulting police, resisting obscene language. All right? And then you had just before the weekend, you had the school teacher who would have appeared before the court for a series of Mr. Oliver Dennis, for a series over 8, 6. So it's it's 12 sexual offenses he would have appeared before the courts for. All right, so that was a roundup of what occurred.
And you know, normally I would ask about the accidents. You mentioned some, but there was one in Lambo.
There were 1 and 2 accidents.
Yeah, then one at Shaw Park yesterday, where a large vehicle would have...
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
But there was, I know there was one where a gentleman was going to work and another driver of a vehicle overtake a line of cars and ran straight in head-on collision.
All right.
All right, but persons have to be safe and you have to be reasonable on the road. You have to know when to overtake and as the young people would say, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
And look out for them holes, boy. Them holes there. But that's a different conversation by itself. I saw, quickly before we go into the topic, I saw the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. They had a little nice...
Yes, I saw it. Really nice. Nice vibes.
So they are nothing from the TTPS?
Well, the police, I don't know if the police banned. Because if you look at it, it's fire service, it's banned.
Oh, the band.
I see it's the band, and then they brought it in. The person who did the video, they brought in the past independence parades. Right. So I don't know if the TTPS band did anything. I know I didn't see anything as yet being put out. Right.
But the officers felt some type of way, or they were glad for
but
the delivery.
There are some those who would have felt a kind of way because I mean you enjoy going out there and march. And persons, their families, looking on.
True.
And the little children. You know, if you have a little child, like a son or daughter as a police, you know they would want to see their daddy or their mother marching in town. That's something that they feel proud of. Right. So there are those who would feel a sense of, disappointment, and then there are those who will be happy that they didn't have to march. But all in all, it is for our safety. And we're hoping that next year we will be back on the roads.
Yeah. All right. Let's hope and see how things work out. But in terms of the young children, as you mentioned, they're the young sons and daughters and so on. School is around the corner, so we have an extra week. They got an extra week. But next week school reopens.
School reopens.
For most, the topic this morning.
It's back to school. So when you go to you're in a primary school, you would have done the exam and you go into the secondary school. Remember, there are children who are not accustomed to this large grouping of persons. So you as a parent have to prepare them. Because remember, you're going into the next school, you're going into big school.
Big school.
And you have to prepare them. Even the young ones who've been going to their kindergarten school, they are now going to big school, as they also say. So you have to prepare your children mentally. You have to speak with them. Ensure a long time when you were a child, your parents will make sure they cover your books, right? Now, if you do cover the books, try and get some labels. Put your children names on the books. All right. Now we know in the secondary school there is a crave for this playground bag.
Yeah, boy.
Right? This playground bag is a crave for it, and persons have been disenfranchised with the bag. They've been stolen. The bags have been stolen. A lot of children's bags have been stolen in school. So you have to talk to your children. And when you spend your hard-earned $900 for this playground bag, by now probably $1,000. Right? If you spend money for this playground bag, make sure you speak to your children. Don't just let them leave the bags in the classroom anyhow during the day and outside running up and down, and then when they get back inside, this playground bag is missing. And then you have the first formers. Remember, they're going into this school. They're not going into this new school. They ain't concerned that somebody will take up this playground bag. So you have to speak to their children about this playground bag because it is causing a lot of hype in secondary schools.
Yeah.
All right?
I remember JanSport around my time. JanSport, when someone steals your JanSport, the pocket could fold. You could fold the bag into the pocket.
Into the pocket.
So it's smaller.
Smaller.
Yeah, but yes.
And you could turn you could turn them wrong side.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. In terms of parents, now we're dealing with. Let's look at the young ones, as you mentioned, who transitioned from primary into secondary. Right? They had to traverse in some instances. Right. As in travel and as opposed
to I'm about to say that you have to ensure that your children have proper transportation. Those who do not, you're not providing accommodation for, well, you know, obviously there is the maxis that goes to the various schools. Make sure your children wake up in time and ensure that you know where your children are at all times. Sometimes you have children liming in the Port Mall. Persons in the Port Mall, persons have been removing them from the Port Mall. You also have children liming outside the drugstores down at Waterfront. When you look sometimes, they say they're waiting for taxis, but they're just there liming. And then you have the children in the evening who goes to the amphitheater. That is the back of the library.
Yeah.
The police have a lot of work to do when school opens, because the children go in, some of them go into the library, yes, and when some of them stay outside of the library and cause trouble. There are those children who go there and meet adult persons, and the police constantly has to patrol that area and have the children go to their various homes. You also have the children going to botanical gardens and liming. So you're asking parents, speak to your children. The police cannot police your children all the time. So you have to speak to your children. When school is over, they go to school and they must look for the transportation and go home. You have, always remember parents, we have different phases in life. School time is school time. We had a long vacation. Talk to your children. If you cannot speak to your children and you think they need counseling, then, and I was happy to see when I was driving, I was listening to the Tobago notes, where they were speaking, where they had children and parents, and I heard the mother saying that nobody can tell her anything bad about her child again, right? Because they had that program. So we're asking parents, if you have issues with your children and you cannot control them, because some of them, they go home very late in the evening after school, and we want parents to talk to your children. If you can't control them, reach out for assistance. Also, even though I know that their cell phones are not, you can't have cell phones in schools, but have some way of ensuring that when the taxi picking up the child, when the taxi reaches to the school, you talk to the child, let the child know, listen, don't have the person waiting, or you as the parent who going for the child, have the child waiting on you for length of time, all right? You have the parents who goes and park up outside schools.
Yeah, early.
Very early. Methodist and Scarborough Methodist and Scarborough Anglican. We want the parents to have some consideration. Some of them park on both sides of the roadway, right? It is one side of the roadway, park on one side. Persons park on both sides, causing issues and problems as it relates to the roadway, all right? And also, please be reminded that where Scarborough Methodist is and Scarborough Anglican, that it is a one-way between this, I think it's 7 in the morning and 9, and then you come back again. I think it's at 2 to 4, something like that.
Yeah, but the sign is there.
But yes, once they have school hours, it is a one-way. Persons are still trying to, navigating themselves, trying to pass when it is a one-way, in the opposite direction.
I want to ask about, you mentioned something earlier on, like when you're liming or loitering, right? For some reason, there's certain adults, young adults, who does find friendships
with school children.
How is it that the TTPS monitor these individuals or run them? Or how do you treat with these? There's some fellas just decide that.
And they lime in the area where school children go, and that's what I'm saying. The amphitheater is one outside the library. Children are there, and you have the young men, some of them who just left school, some of them who are older, and they are there, and they try to talk to the children. They even have those who try to sell the marijuana to the children. All right, so the police patrols there and send the children home, and also disperse the persons who are seated there, who come there and sit down, who sit down there and line, right? We tell them to leave, all right? Now we have the difference between liming and loitering. Sometimes what's
the difference?
Well, because, okay, so if you are there among businesses, there's a business in the area, business is open, you can tell the police, listen, I'm going to buy something, somebody's coming to bring some money for me to purchase an item. Or you may be like standing up in the area of the taxi stand, and you can say, yes, you are waiting for a taxi. So if it is, you cannot give a reasonable account of yourself, then it is loitering. You cannot give a reasonable account. Right? So you cannot account to me, listen, I'm waiting for a taxi, I'm on the taxi stand. Okay? Or I am going to purchase an item in the supermarket. But just standing there, and you have no reasonable cause for just standing up there. And then most of the time, let us say later in the night, if you are in places very late and you have no reasonable account, for sure you will be charged for loitering. All right? But sometimes it's a little difficult during the day when persons may say, you know, I am going to the supermarket, I am going to the, I'm going to wait for taxi. But then the police officer, let us say Monday you pass John, standing outside eBay, just standing up there. You would make your notes. Tuesday, you pass again the same time.
Still there.
John standing up, come back and standing up there. Wednesday you pass, Tuesday you make your notes. Wednesday pass the same thing. He not going to buy anything. He not going to catch a car. He is there for someone reasonable. He doesn't have a proper purpose of being there.
But the police could walk
right?
and I guess interrogate the individual at that point, right?
I had conversations with them, yes.
Yeah.
And tell them to move from there. Why are you loitering in that area? And you have most of them loitering. I don't know what it have in front of eBay for them. I don't know what it have in front of eBay.
I would say something, but not
eBay. What it have in front there, right? But they always
the mobile unit is available now.
Themselves. The mobile unit is there, and the police always have to speak to persons who are loitering. And additionally to that, you have persons continuously selling goods outside there. All right? So, and you know, there's a taxi stand. You have school children also waiting there for taxi when school open.
Yeah.
All right? So, but I'm saying, all in all, you're asking the parents. The most popular thing I'm saying to you is have conversations with your children so that you will know what is happening with your children in school and out of school.
All right. Before we close, in terms of some schools are there, I heard recently that the Ministry of Education, in collaboration with the TTPS,
in Trinidad. Where you have
police
in the schools.
Armed police in schools.
I'm not sure if it will be armed.
Okay, but in terms of being searched and stuff in Tobago, what is the situation?
The police sometimes visit schools before children go into the school, and they will check their bags. The police have adopted schools. There are different stations where different persons adopt schools. Right? You also have the tourist-oriented police who also have adopted schools also. Right. They go into the school and speak to the school children. So you have the various stations, districts, would have adopt different schools and that they go to.
Okay.
All right?
And of course, you would continue to advise parents and guardians to check out your school children, your young ones' bags and so on. We bring that home for.
Before they go to school and when they come home from school. Check their bags, and if you realize that they have things in the bags that belong to somebody else, don't you give them back to carry it back. You go to the school. Go to the school, ask for the form teacher or ask for the principal, and ask them if they could go to the class, if the teacher could announce and give back the persons their items.
Yeah, I remember bringing a football and I was told, hey, carry back that football. I'm not a footballer, but anyway, certain parents would mind their business. Right?
Of course they would.
This morning?
Well, I just want to tell the public we are happy for your information. Please continue to call the police. You have the 631 help, and you also could call 211. We, as I always say, as Max and House would say, we need the money, we need the information.
All right, and just quickly, there is or was a unit dealing with child protection and so on.
That unit is still there. It is called Special Victims Unit.
Okay.
All right?
All right then. All right, thanks for that clarity there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Let me make sure and get it correct. Acting Assistant Superintendent Alicia Piggott, yes, was with us this morning. And she's always with us each and every Monday, but today's Tuesday, starting off the week on the right side, giving you the tips as we head towards school, the brand new school semester. What we saying these days? Term, brand new school term, all right? Brand new school year, as a matter of fact.